Georgia's a 24.5-point favorite. 3:30 Eastern, ABC. It's ABC. Not to knock ABC. This is one of those games where 3:30 Eastern kick, you count on the SEC jingle. We don't get that. Nonetheless, we move forward. If you're Georgia, man, you got to reset. You have to reset because I know it's the Auburn logo and Auburn's limping into this game, but the SEC is a lot like the Amazon. Just when you think you're safe and you can take a chance to rest and kind of lick your wounds a little bit, that's when you get bit by something venomous and you die. All right. Now, for Georgia, maybe it's not quite that morbid, but I do think that's kind of a situation here because Auburn, they're desperate. They're desperate. And I'm not saying they're spiraling, but I am saying they're desperate. When you're desperate, you're dangerous. And Auburn, quite frankly, played well enough against Oklahoma to win that football game. Now, they didn't, so I guess you say, well, they didn't play well enough for that one play, and that's true. The pick six was what got them. But there's plays out there. And nobody wants to say this, but like Peyton Thorne is your guy going forward. Peyton Thorne played more than well enough to win that football game outside of that one play. He threw for over 300 yards in that game. If he goes for over 300 against Georgia, that would be a feat. Don't get it twisted, but that would obviously be, I think, more than enough to allow Auburn to cover that spread and make this thing very interesting in the fourth quarter like it was last year. College football sickos, make sure you are subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. It's college football, nothing but college football, game predictions like this one, analysis, instant reactions, everything that you love about college football without the hot takes and clickbait and traffic, we do that here. So we appreciate y'all being dialed in. The Hard Count is brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. $5 in lineups when you play code HARDCOUNT. Wins you $50 in promo funds. Fade or follow us if you want to. We got plays throughout the week on this channel, but we're hot right now, so go ahead and follow us. Again, code HARDCOUNT, $5 played in lineups, gets you $50 in promo funds, even if you don't win, just for playing. We appreciate y'all. Now back to the prediction. Now, Auburn's path to an upset, with it being 24.5 points, that's probably what we should talk about the most here. How would Auburn find a way to get it done? Well, I think you probably look at what Alabama did, and you look at what you did a season ago and just say, okay, that's the blueprint right there. And having a blueprint and executing a blueprint are two different things. But to me, it is the perimeter run game with the quarterback, a little bit of sauce on there. Now, what is the sauce? It could be misdirection. It could be pre-snap movement. It could be a shift, whatever it looks like. I need the Hugh special in this game to open this up. But Peyton Thorne last year, man, averaged 7.7 yards a carry, 92 yards on the ground. Now, he threw for less than 100, and that was kind of the end-all, be-all, I suppose, at the end there. But, like, don't tell me there's not a path here. Because Jalen Milroe had a ton of success on the perimeter last week against Georgia as well. Now, Jalen Milroe, Peyton Thorne, two different caliber of athletes, but both can hurt you on the ground, just so we're on the same page. If you're Auburn, speaking to that Hugh special, you need to find a way to get Georgia misaligned. Because I think the Auburn roster, they're still building the overall like talent floor, if you will. They're playing a lot of young bucks. Hugh spoke to that a lot. They're still trying to get the caliber of player they need across the board to be able to beat the Georgias consistently and compete with the Alabamas consistently. But, like, you don't have them right now. If you got to play mano-a-mano with Georgia, you're going to lose the football game. So just like we saw last season, can you get that second level of the defense rocking and rolling, get them out of position? If you can, I think there's enough talent here for Auburn to score some points. Now, will that happen? Remains to be seen, but the Hugh special has got to be on deck. And right in line with the Hugh special, like what we said about Luther Burden in the Missouri A&M game is the same way we feel about Jarquez Hunter, the running back for Auburn, in the Georgia game. Like, he's your best player. In situations like this, sometimes it is that simple. You give 27 the football, you give it to him 20 times, and you allow him to impact the game to the most intense degree possible. That is the deal here. That's the deal. And I think when he has success, that sets everything else up. You want to throw the football? Get those safeties rolling down. You want to be able to get the perimeter run game going with the quarterback? Have those ends crashing. All these things, to me, starts with Jarquez Hunter being able to set the table offensively. Now, if your pushback on that is, hey, JD, use him as a decoy, great. But at some point in time, 27 has got to make a play for you. And that's not me putting it on Jarquez Hunter. That's me telling you, like, as a staff, scheme it for Jarquez Hunter. That has to happen. And I don't know as much about Hugh Freeze's roster as he does. I'm not telling you I do. But I do think there has to be a situation here where he allows the highest probability for special plays. And I think that's ultimately what it takes to beat Georgia. Like you saw that from Alabama. At the end of the day, It took matchup playmakers winning their play, winning their matchup. Ryan Williams made, to this point in the college football season, the play of the year with that contested catch all the way to the end zone. I'm not saying you need Jarquez Hunter to do something like that, but it might take something in that vein if you want to beat Georgia. Now, if I'm Georgia, let's talk about you for a second. You're the better roster. You're the better football team. I need to see a fast start. I need to see that bully mentality back because Georgia, this is shocking, they are 120th in the country when it comes to rushes per game. They are 96th in the country when it comes to rush yards per game. And quite frankly, I don't think it's a thing where Georgia can't run the football. To me, it's a matter of committing to the run. And I don't mean to play offensive coordinator too much here, but when we think Georgia, we think bully, we think physical, we think move the line of scrimmage, we think big human beings. And you got arguably the best quarterback in college football, so I get it, you want to let him spin, but if you want to beat Auburn, let's get back to the basics here. Let's keep it simple. Let's not put too much on our quarterback and our perimeter skill players. Let's just get back to being the bully on the block and run the dang ball. And let's allow that to be the catalyst here. Let's make it an attitude thing. Because there's a couple of games now from Clemson to Kentucky to Alabama where the running game has not been what I believe it was advertised to be. And I understand, too, offensive line is dinged up. You don't want to shortchange the impact of that, but I want to see Georgia impose their will, especially in a spot here against Auburn where you're at home, you're a 3-touchdown and some change favorite. Let's be on a mission here if we're Georgia. Let's be dialed in. I think Georgia does wake up in this football game. I think Auburn, having the success they had last year, I'm curious to see if they're able to recreate that kind of juice offensively. If they do recreate that juice, have to be able to have, I think, another round of bullets in the chamber if you're Hugh Freeze, because Georgia will adjust like they did against Alabama. Ultimately, I think Georgia wins the game. 24.5 is a lot, especially with the spot that Auburn's in right now, with them being in that kind of desperation mode, not in a desperation or you lose the football team mode. I'm just saying desperation mode given the last couple of games. I think they're close. I think that they end up, again, covering that 24.5 number, but I'll take Georgia. Final score, Dogs 34, Auburn 20. It kills me we get no SEC jingle from CBS, but still, we're going to soak it in no matter what. Hey, y'all know Whataburger? Of course you do. You know Whataburger. They're doing the Lord's work when it comes to providing just tremendous, whether it be honey butter chicken biscuit, whether it be a cheese, whatever you're getting into, Whataburger is your place. They go together perfectly with college football, in my opinion. Whataburger is going to have a food truck here, partnering with On3 to have a food truck at the game in Athens, Georgia. So go ahead, October 5th, roll on over there. Be serving hot and fresh Whataburger for you and your crew. Make sure you make that detour on your way into the stadium. Remember, your local Whataburger, always ready to feed the team, made to order 100% fresh food, served hot 24/7. That's the easiest win you'll get all season. Again, Whataburger, I'll say this, I was in Texas for the better part of the last, 2-3 years. It's good in any occasion. Before the game, Whataburger. After a high school football game, whatever you're doing, Whataburger is the way to go. So go ahead and check out that food truck this weekend in Athens.